So, I learned something about myself today. I am between the architect and the contractor and the various other people that are involved. And when they ask me to do something, I feel really uncomfortable because I realized today I am out of my element. Also, it's really important to me, this project. I really want this to work. It's part of my long term plan for my life. They're very intimidating at the city. I mean, they've been very nice, but it's still intimidating to walk in there and be like, try to speak their language and use their vernacular and get the answer that you actually need, because you could actually probably ask the wrong question and get an answer you don't need. And I'm not familiar enough with this whole realm to really know what's right and wrong. So, first thing I think you should do is line up.
General contractor.
General contractor has to kind of vet some of the designs and some of the ideas that you have. So I think it's better to get a general contractor earlier than later. So the first thing you need is a design concept. And this isn't architectural plans. Like, somebody needs to have a design concept that the architect can work from. So I used
ArcBazaar.com,
which is a crowdsourcing architect network. So I put a creative brief out, and about 50 architects submitted plans, and there was a winner and a second place and a third place. You submit some money so that there's incentive for them to try to do a nice design. Now, the next thing after you have the design concept and the contractor is you need
architect.
and architects can be pricey, so you have to be really careful. You want to maybe see if anybody's got a buddy that can do you a favor, because architects sometimes want 6% of the total build cost, and that can add up. And what they're going to do is take the design concept and put it into plans, and those plans are what everybody's going to work from. In conjunction with the architect, you're going to need
Structural engineer.
And maybe if you pick an architecture firm that has structural engineers in the firm, then you're good. For me, I picked a freelancing architect, and he found a structural engineer. And that's the person that's creating the specs and the calculations for the structure and the roof, the framing of the structure itself. So that's another expense. There's a lot of signatures, a lot of certifications, notary public. You have to realize, if you're building an ADU, you're building a new address. And so that new unit is going to be using city utilities, gas, water, sewer, and everybody, the county, everybody needs to certify it and get on board. This is not really the fun part.
Is there a fun part?
So once the plans have been finalized by the architect and the structural engineer, you go down to the planning department at your city to submit the plans. In Long Beach, I took 3 copies, paper copies of the plans. Your blueprints or your plans will then be in the first round plan check for about 4 to 6 weeks. Your city planner probably won't call you, so follow up with them. But they will guide you eventually about what paperwork, fees, signatures, certifications, notaries, etc. need to be made in order for your plan to get approved. After that 4 to 6 week period, you'll receive a set of corrections from the city, and these need to be given back to the architect who will make the corrections. You then submit it back to the city, jump through a few more signature hoops, and hopefully get final approval. This whole process took me about 3 months. Does it sound like I know what I'm doing? I don't really. But if I can do it and I don't know what I'm doing, then you can do it.